Hi guys, a quick market update here, and we closed day 14 after the buy signal on a green bullish engulfing candle. It was not a high Saturday run up. We could see the market basically just went sideways. I'm going to go to the shorter time frame there, and a weekend is always a bit of an uncertainty, one can say, because it can either run up, but then it is in any event negated by a CME gap. So it's probably better we got our bullish engulfing candle. And what usually happens in this type of scenario is that we run up and down. We can run slightly below the yellow line here, between the white and yellow line, above it and slightly under it. So far we haven't run under it, but it is possible to run under it in other cases. It sometimes runs through it 3 times about, and then it breaks up finally through it and takes off. So it doesn't have to run 3 times. It can run up now if it wants to, but I think it seems like in this case we might not really have a CME gap that will leave the opportunity for a straight run up. Of course, it could, on the other hand, just start running up and leave the CME gap behind. That does sometimes happen. It's infrequent, but there are a couple of different scenarios there. It is actually of not any real importance unless you're going to do short-term range trading, which will not be really of much value here. You're looking at 88,000 to 87,662, and you might just miss out on the run up. So so far, in all cases where we've had the on the 90-minute now, the buy signal on the 2-day, we have run back. I'm going to slip back to the 2-day. We have run back to above these moving averages. There is 2 scenarios. Usually if after the buy signal we run up in that next 4 days and eat there, then we actually usually come down back and then go up. In general, when we have the full 14 days usage before we get the run up to there, then we usually run over it, but we will have to watch out for that still on a shorter time frame. When we get up to this, it is now, these have been dragged down since that time, and they're now basically at 99,277. The likelihood is actually of running up to then running through it. So everything is still on track. We got our bullish engulfing candle. You will see with regards to the dominance we've talked about that some of the altcoins are starting to take off already. They also might jump a bit up and down. Look at that candle you got on ICP. I'm going to switch here to the 90-minute. That one can actually see how it has taken off there, and you can see it has a nice takeoff from ICP, and it looks like ICP wants to start a run. And Moca token was one of the other tokens. I did a video about the other day, and No, not this exchange. Token of Moca brands, and it's also going up very nicely on the 90-minute, having run above the 90-minute moving averages, and looks like it is going to take off nicely. If we look at back to Bitcoin, then you can see Bitcoin had some spikes, but actually those altcoins are taking off quicker than Bitcoin. The percentage gains are already more. So some good altcoins I expect to be doing very, very well, and running quickly back with that Moca. I'd indicated I'm expecting a fairly quick run up back to the 4-cent level of 100% increase. And we should, I'm going to go back to the 2-day quickly. We should get up to these levels in general. Once we make the turn, we get there fairly quickly. The next candle closing on Monday could be very close to this 91 area, and it might be one longish candle just back there. So probably, if it could be up to 4 days, probably up to Thursday next week. It could be quicker, depending on whether it wants to start a run on Sunday already and make a higher candle. Could be 2-3 candles perhaps to get there, but I believe we'll get there in next week. Of course, it could have a green candle, a small red candle, and a green candle, but in general, when it starts to move, it moves quickly. So I think people might be surprised how quickly we end up getting there, because you could get a very long candle, as we've seen sometimes in the past. So everything is still on track, and I hope you're going to have a great day.